Luke Beveridge and the Western Bulldogs, Cornsey, they've got a few issues and the coach admits it, whether it's now or for the last 6 weeks or further into next year.
The competition at the pointy end's gone past us a little bit. So we're going through a period of change. The now is absolutely important for us, but the future is critical to make sure we lay some foundations to make sure we're setting ourselves up for what happens in the future.
Amazing. Grand final last year, round 17, realising you're not good enough. And so many teams have gone past you. And I was there to watch this game. I couldn't believe the start to this match. I thought Tim English, he was timid. He was looking round. He didn't want to jump in. So they lose the first clearance. And then watch this first 15 minutes of the game, how poor they were. Hunted. And then the amount of goals. It's hard to get goals from centre clearance. They just kept coming and coming and coming. And for a star-studded midfield, or so-called star-studded midfield, they were beaten up by the Sydney Swans.
And so that was the disappointing thing from a coaching aspect. So smashed out of the centre bounce in the second half of that grand final. We've all seen the images of that. It was almost a repeat of that. You're highlighting the lack of physicality there from Tim English as well against a lesser ruckman in Sam Reid, who was awesome with 13 tackles. But yeah, it was just far too easy. They refused to defend, and that only has to be on the coach and the coaching group.
The reference there to the future was intriguing because they still find themselves, as bad as that result was, one game only out of the 2022-8 as we speak.
And less than a season after a grand final performance, Damo, which they were almost looked the winners halfway through the third quarter.
And there's a possibility that Sam Darcy will get a game as soon as this week, if not this week, at some stage of the remaining matches this year, which is obviously a big part of the future.
I seriously believe they've been hurt. I know it's hard looking from afar, but Stephen King is an experienced coach with the Gold Coast Suns. They've improved. And Ashley Hanson's just seen as a coach, AFL senior coach in waiting, who's helped improve the Blues. I think he lost 2 key members. And it made me think, listening to Darcy Moore on 3AW over the weekend, about what Collingwood have gained and what support Craig McRae does have.
With the coaching group around him, he's obviously got real experience around him with Justin Lepich and Brendan Bolton, and both with senior coaching experience. There's not just Craig getting up and giving us a lecture every week. You know, we've got a really interesting mix of coaches who are providing, good insights.
Terrific insight there from Darcy Moore. Now, Damo, I've sat next to you each and every Sunday. I reckon after about round 1, you nominated this guy, Chad Warner, as your man, and he's been awesome.
He is my new favourite, Kane. I just am drawn to him, live or on TV. I mean, even lacing the ball out to Buddy for the 1,000th goal, kicking goals like that in clutch stages. That was a game they lost. He kicked 3 goals in it. He's got so much time. You speak to coaches at the club, John Longmire, Don Pike and teammates. He's got this extraordinary explosive burst. And Kane, I'm going to do a you here. This man is going to win a Brownlow medal. A Brownlow medal as soon as next year, Kane. And if it's not next year, at some stage of his career. Look, I don't even need to see those numbers to know he's ranking elite in 3 of the key 5 categories there. I know he is, and I just love watching him play.
Is that woke us all up?
Damo, you have been sitting next to Kane for far too long. You're starting to use the superlatives straight away.
As I said, if it's not next year, 2024.
Can't back away from it now.
I can't. Hold me to it.
Chad Warner, Brownlow medalist, potentially next year.
Within a couple of years. Didn't even wait for the
Lord,
whole career to finish.
He might get 18 votes this year.